Hello and welcome back to the action here at the Olympic Oval finale. In this block of races, we have quads 11 through 21 of the men's 5,000 meter. First up, it's Takahiro Ito from Japan and Hanno Dahmen from the Netherlands. They'll be followed by Justin Stelly of the United States and Thomas Mélin of France. Pay attention to those armbands. You can also look at the little box next to their name with the color. I'll tell you who is who in these confusing quartet races. These skaters are off for 5,000 meters. That's 5 kilometers over 12 and a half laps. Opening splits 20.0, 19.4, 20.5, and 20.2. Ito and Dahmen settling into high ones. Let's see what pace Stelly and Mélin set. Mid ones, 31.5 for both athletes. Takahiro Ito's personal best is a 6:45.75. That's the time he is chasing. His last lap time, just under 32. Dahmen, 32.0. As we look at Stelly and Mélin on that backstretch. Stelly settling into the low 31s, Mélin, low 32s. Through 1,400 meters, it is neck and neck between Takahiro Ito and Hanno Dahmen. They are well paired. Stelly and Mélin keeping pace with each other as well. All athletes in the 31s. Hanno Dahmen chasing a sub 6:50 time. That would be a personal best for him. It's a big barrier to break, the 6:50 mark. He is on pace right now with mid 31s, another mid 31, identical lap times for Takahiro Ito and Hanno Dahmen. They are only 500ths apart through 2,200 meters. Stelly and Mélin in the low 32s. They are keeping pace with each other. Still a tight race between those two. Two evenly matched pairs. As we look in this backstretch, Mélin may have to let up to let Stelly by, and he does. Stelly going over the top of Thomas Mélin. Justin Stelly, a inline skater from the United States. He's skating 2 years of ice in preparation for the Olympic trials next season. Thomas Mélin, a short track skater from France who's moved to Calgary in order to skate long track. So Ito and Dahmen keeping pace. Low 31s, negative splits for both athletes. They are on pace for a great personal best if they keep this up. And Stelly and Mélin. Stelly is pulling away a little bit now. 32.1 his lap time. 32.5. Thomas Mélin chasing a personal best. His best time is a 6:52.50. He'll have to pick it up a little bit if he wants to reach that. As we see Ito and Dahmen coming around. When they cross the line, they will have 3 laps remaining. As Milin and Stelly are fading a little bit. Still in the 31s for Ito and Dahmen. Neck and neck, 100th separating the two. Come around. Justin Stelly doing the inline push, hands on his knees. 33-0. Most ice speed skaters, this doesn't work. But inliners do it all the time. And he seems to be maintaining his pace as Ito and Dahmen come around. They are now in the high 1s and low 2s. Still neck and neck. This will be a tight finish between Takahiro Ito and Hanno Dahmen. Justin Stelly really pulling away from Thomas Milin now. And this is the bell lap for Takahiro Ito and Hanno Dahmen. Ito now pulling away, 32-1. Dahmen fading as Ito will go over the top of Hanno Dahmen on this last lap. And they will come to the finish. Stelly and Milin now on their final lap. Stelly with 1 lap to go, hands on his knees, 32-6. Milin 1 lap remaining as well, 33-6. As Ito will drive to the line looking strong, 31.99 his last time, 6:39.61, just under that 6:40 barrier. Big personal best for him. Hanno Dahmen 6:41.89. That is also a massive personal best, 8 seconds. As Justin Stelly will come to the line, he will miss his PB. 6:47.85 was his time. Thomas Milin 6:52.88. 3/10 off his previous personal best. As we get a look at our next athletes. In this quartet, Connor Howe from Alberta is racing Antoine Gélina Beaulieu in the first pair. In the second pair, we will see Eric Spence from BC and Alexander Zamoski from the United States. So Howe and Gélina Beaulieu underway now. Connor Howe chasing a 6:52.21 personal best. Second pair is now underway. That's Spence and Zamoski. Both skaters trying to build speed. You see Eric Spence not swinging an arm on that first 200 meters. 21.1 his opener. 20.7 for Zamoski. So opening lap times for Gélina Beaulieu and Connor Howe. 30.9 for Gélina Beaulieu. 31.8 for Howe. Antoine Gélina Beaulieu's personal best is a 6:34.66. He skated that way back in March 2010 in Moscow. Gélina Beaulieu had an excellent career as a junior, then took a few years off the sport and is making a comeback now. As Zamoski is leading Eric Spence in the second pair. His lap time 32.5, 34.9 for Spence. Jelena Beaulieu settling in to low 31s, high 30s. He's on a good time right now. If he can maintain this pace, he would be on his personal best. He does have 8 laps to go, though. Quite a ways. As he hunts down Eric Spence on this backstretch. See Connor Howe. He's holding low 32s. Eric Spence is chasing a 6:52.58. Howe still in the low 32s. Jelena Beaulieu, low 431s. Zamoski is putting together a good race as well. 31.8, his most recent split time. That's a negative split for him. Zamoski's personal best is a 6:53.35. You see, that is Connor Howe coming around. He's holding steady 32s. He's on a good race. Big negative split for Antoine Jelena Beaulieu, 30.9. 32.3 for Eric Spence. Eric Spence is using Jelena Beaulieu ahead of him as a rabbit, keeping pace. Sometimes if someone laps you, it serves as a wake-up call. Zamoski into the low or high 31s, now in the low 32s. All of these guys on pace for a sub 6:50 time. Eric Spence, perhaps a little behind that because he started slow, but he is picking it up now. Jelena Beaulieu holding these low 31s. He is on a good pace right now. Connor Howe, like clockwork in those 32s. So Jelena Beaulieu, another low 31. This is a great race for Antoine Jelena Beaulieu. He is on pace for a mid 6:35, mid 6:30 time, 6:35 or below right now. Connor Howe still in the 32s. He's doing well. Eric Spence negative splitting 31.9. Zamoski 32.6. So Spence is starting to catch Alexander Zamoski. He has 2 laps to do it though. He has to gain 4 seconds on his pair. Howe 32.82, keeping it under 33, but Jelena Beaulieu, the class of this quad, in the low 31s. This is the bell lap for Antoine Jelena Beaulieu. 31.1 negative split. He is on a monster race right now. If he keeps this last lap down, it will be a 6:34, right on his personal best. 6:34.66 is the time to beat for Antoine Jelena Beaulieu. Driving to the line, he will finish with a final time of 6:34.56, a personal best by 0.10 of a second. Connor Howe will now come to the line. His final time, 6:50.22. That is a personal best of 2 seconds for Connor Howe. Good race for him, as Eric Spence and Zamoski are now on their last straightaway. Alexander Zamoski, final time 6:49.67. That's a PB for him. And Eric Spence 6:54.58. Narrowly missing his PB by 2 seconds. As we look at the fastest times of the morning, Ted Jan Blumen skated a 6:20.70. This is our next pair. Laurent Marcotte and Jordan Bertignoli standing behind them in the second pair of this quad are Theron Sands and Darren Huang. Those skaters are underway. We'll await their opening 200 split. Mid 20, 20.4, 20.5, those opening times. Our second pair is now underway as well. This is Marcotte, Bertignoli, Sands, and Huang. Their opening splits 22-0 for Sands, Huang 20.5. Darren Huang's personal best is a 6:58.06. He'll be looking for a PB here this weekend. We've seen a slew of PBs in the last couple races. As Marcotte and Bertignoli settle in. Marcotte in the low 32s, Bertignoli high 33. Sands with a high 31, Huang high 33. Jordan Bertignoli's personal best is a 6:57.22. If these skaters can keep their lap times in the mid 32s, an average of mid 32s, they will be all on pace for personal bests. So watch those lap times. Marcotte's personal best is a 6:53.98. He will need low 32s to beat his personal best. And he's on pace right now. 32.3, his most recent lap time. 33.3 for Bertignoli. So we look at Theron Sands and Darren Huang. Sands pulling away from Huang at this point of the race. His lap time 32.09. Huang 33.64. Marcotte holding these low 32s. Bertignoli negative splitting into the high 32s. Working into his pace. Theron Sands is looking for a personal best. His previous mark is a 6:54.18. So he's looking for mid to low 32s. He's on pace right now. So Marcotte still in the low 32s. Bertignoli holding those high 32s. All skaters have stabilized their lap times through the middle part of this race. As Marcotte and Bertignoli will come through. They have 5 laps remaining. 32.5 for Marcotte, 32.9 for Bertignoli. Positive split. Darren Huang holding low 33s now. Marcotte can see him ahead of him, though. Someone to chase. Quartets can be confusing sometimes, but it offers some advantages to the athletes since they have extra skaters to chase. Sometimes you can do a little bit of drafting, although you're technically not supposed to. Also, with so many skaters going around the rink, there's a phenomenon that can form of a bit of a whirlpool action with the air as it starts to swirl in the direction of travel. Get a bit of wind at your back in these races. Marcotte and Bertignoli now going the same pace. Bertignoli doing a great job holding steady high 32s, low 31s. He's on a very consistent race. He will have to bring it down a little bit if he wants to skate his personal best, though. As Marcotte will come through 33.18. That's his first lap in the 33s. 33.71 for Jordan Bertignoli. That is not a lap time he wanted to see. He has to bring this next one down. Sands, though, holding those low 32s. Huang is bringing it down as well. 32.5. Bell lap now for Laurent Marcotte and Jordan Bertignoli. One lap remaining. Marcotte 33.3. Bertignoli 33.7. As Sands and Huang will now come around to their final lap. One to go here for a yellow armband, Theron Sands. 32.57. He's done a good job throughout this whole race, keeping those times down in the low 32s as Marcotte will come across the line. 6:51.53. That is a personal best for Laurent Marcotte by 2 seconds. Bertignoli will finish with a 7:02.54. He misses his PB by a few seconds. Theron Sands, 6:48.14. That is a big PB for him, 6 seconds. And Darren Huang will finish up 6:57.76. That is a personal best by a few tenths. So 3 PBs in the previous quad. We have a trend going on here. The ice is obviously quick. As we move on to our next quartet. These are pairs 25 and 26. If you want to look at the pairs list, go to oval.ucalgary.ca/competitions. These are pairs 25 and 26. Joshua Hathaway in the inner lane and Dongsheng Yang in the outer. They will be followed by Caleb Mueller and Yanang Jin. So our first pair is underway now. These skaters chasing personal bests. Josh Hathaway's PB is a 6:57.08. He'll be looking to improve that today. He will have to average below 33 seconds a lap in order to skate that time. So watch those lap times. If he's in the mid 32s, he's on pace. All skaters are underway now as we look at the first lap times coming up. Dongsheng Yang Skating a fairly quick first lap, 30.7. See if he slows down from that pace. 31.2 for Hathaway, also maybe a little ambitious. Caleb Mueller and Yanang Jin settling in to their lap times as well. Yanang Jin high 30-second lap. Mueller 32.1. Caleb Mueller is chasing a personal best of 6:58.09. Much like Hathaway, he's going to aim for mid 32-second laps. Keep an eye on those lap times. If he's in the mid 32s, he's doing well, and he is right on pace right now. 32.4. Hathaway as well, 32.5. The two Chinese skaters going about a second faster lap at this moment. A few times this morning we've seen athletes start on 30-second laps and then fall apart by the end of the race. Now this is Dongsheng Yang, still with quick lap times, low 31.2 his lap time. Hathaway 32.3, right on pace. Caleb Mueller 32.58 was his lap time. Let's see what he sets in the next one. 32.92. He's going to have to bring that down to stay on pace for personal best. Two Chinese athletes still holding 31s. 31.5 for Dongsheng Yang. Dongsheng Yang also chasing a personal best of 6:58. So right now he is well ahead of personal best pace. But he's slowing down. 32.2 his lap time. 32.5 for Hathaway. Hathaway right on pace. He's aiming for those mid 32s. Let's see if he can maintain it. As Yanan Jin will come through. 32.35. He's slowing down. Caleb Mueller keeping it under 33. He's right on the edge right now. He has to keep those lap times down. If he keeps on this pace, 32, high 32s, Caleb Mueller will not be able to die in the last couple laps at all if he wants to skate a personal best. So he's not building himself a buffer as we speak. Although he brings it down 32.7 on that last lap. As we see Dongsheng Yang come through now. His lap time 34.23. The wheels are coming off. Joshua Hathaway 33.0. He's gaining now. A little off pace though. He banked some time at the beginning. When they come around, they will have 3 laps remaining. The first pair of Hathaway and Dongsheng. Mueller and Yan'an have 3 to go now. 32.96 for Caleb Mueller. He's holding those high 32s. Right on pace. As Yang Dongsheng, as Jin Yan'an continues to slow down, 34.11. Mueller into the 33s. Crucial lap here for Caleb Mueller. He has to bring this time down. Joshua Hathaway will now come through. He's catching his pair. 33.94. Yang Dongsheng into the 35s. 2 laps to go for those two. As we see Jin Yan'an come through. 34-22, 34-27 for Mueller. Mueller holding a very steady race from the high 32s to the low 33s. I'm not sure it will be enough for a personal best, though, as Joshua Hathaway comes through. 1 lap remaining, 33-22. He is on pace for a personal best if he can keep this lap time down. Keep it under 34. Dongsheng Yang, 34.75. 1 lap to go for Mueller and Yan'an now. Mueller, 33.63. He has to keep this lap time down as well if he wants to skate a personal best, as Hathaway finishes up. 6:53.46 is his final time. That's a big personal best for Josh Hathaway, almost 5 seconds off his PB. Same for Dongsheng Yang. Jin Yan'an will finish the 6:54.56. That's a personal best. Caleb Mueller as well. So 4 PBs, 4 skaters in that last quartet. Up next, we have pair 27 and 28. This is our 15th quad. Guillaume Labbé from Quebec in the inner lane. He's racing Matthew Laxton from Ontario in the outer. They will be followed by Robert Winter from Alberta in the inner and Vincent de Haye from Ontario in the outer. Our first pair is off, Labbé and Laxton. This is an all-Canadian quad. Guillaume Labbé's personal best is a 6:59.21. So he is looking to keep those lap times under 33 seconds. Robert Winter and Vincent Lehaitre are underway now. 19:27 opener for Lehaitre. Winter 20.3. Vincent Lehaitre, a middle distance specialist. He is a 1,000 and 1,500 meter skater. Medalist at the World Single Distance Championships this season in those distances. So he is a world-class skater. 5,000 meter is not his distance, though. We'll see what he can post. My guess is a high 640. Matthew Laxton's personal best is a 7:02.28. He will be gunning for that sub 7-minute mark. As he's settling into the low 33s and high 32s actually on his last lap. If he maintains this pace, he will do it. Guillaume Labbé, 32.97. He's right on pace for personal best as well. Robert Winter is settling into 33.6, but Vincent de Haye rocketing ahead of everyone else in this quad, 31.77. He is a sprint middle distance skater though. See if his legs can handle the last 8 laps of this race. As De Haye comes through, negative split, 31.54. Vincent De Haye's personal best is above 7 minutes, 7:03.93. He obviously wants to break that 7-minute barrier. And he is well ahead of pace right now. That's Labbé and Laxton. High 32s, low 33s, both on pace right now. Matthew Laxton will have to pick it up a little bit in order to beat that 7-minute mark. De Heet with that blue armband well ahead of his pair, Robert Winter. Winter's lap times in the mid 32s. As these guys come around, this is our first pair of Labbé and Laxton, both in the low 33s. Labbé falling off the pace. He has to pick it up now. Laxton steadily in those low 33s. As De Heet will now come through the finish line. He is on a great race, 31-1. He's on pace for a mid 6:30 time right now. If he can maintain this pace. Winter 32.89. Robert Winter's personal best is a 7:02.46. So with these mid to low 32s, he is on pace. De Heet comes through. He is chasing Labbé and Laxton. 31.16 his lap time. Laxton still in those low 33s. Impressive race from Matthew Laxton. He will have to keep his wits about him here as the big freight train, Vincent De Heet, comes past him. Important when you get passed by a faster skater that you keep your head on your shoulders and you race your own race. Another 32-1 for Vincent De Heet. He has 3 laps to go. 3 to go for Labbé and Laxton as well. Another low 33 for Laxton. Labbé is falling off though, 35 his lap time. As De Heet blows by Matthew Laxton. Let's see how Matthew Laxton can respond. Robert Winter in the low 33s. He has to keep these lap times right there to beat his personal best. And Laxton into the high 33s. De Heet losing a bit of speed, 31.54. As we see the pain face of all of these skaters on these last couple laps. They will come around and the bell will ring with 1 lap to go. Vincent De Heet. He is starting to hurt. 32.62 his lap time. Good thing he banked a lot of time at the beginning. Matthew Laxton will use De Heet ahead of him to chase. Another low 33 for Matt Laxton. 36.77 for Labbé. 33-1 for Winter with 1 lap to go. He's on pace. How will they finish up? This is Matthew Laxton, who will now pass Vincent De Heet back again. And he finished with a final time of 6:58.13. And he is happy about that. That breaks that 7-minute barrier. Big personal best for him. We did not get Vincent De Heet's time, but it was in the 6:30s. Winter finished with a 6:56.84. That's a personal best for him. Guillaume Labbé, 7:11.56. So we missed the final time of Vincent De Heet, but it was a 6:39.86, just squeaking under 6:40. That is an almost actually over 20-second personal best for Vincent de Heid. As we now look at our next quartet, this is Simon Coutts and Jack Dybert in the first pair. Coutts from Manitoba, Dybert from Alberta. The second pair of this quartet features Robin Gruben from Norway and Colin Bierman from Switzerland. Simon Coutts' personal best is a 7:02.99. Much like all the guys in our last pair, he is chasing a sub 7-minute time. He will have to skate sub 33-second laps in order to beat that time. Let's keep an eye on those lap times, see if he can do it. And initial lap times in the 32s for Simon Coutts and Jack Dybert. In the low 30s for Robin Gruben, 30.9. Colin Biernan, mid 32. And negative splitting for Simon Coutts and Jack Dybert, bringing their times down into the low 32s. Both skaters' personal bests are above 7 minutes. They maintain these low 32s. They are in line for a big PB. 7:05.35 is Jack Dybert's personal best. Gruben still holding those quick lap times, 31.2. He's banking time at the beginning of the race. Colin Biernan, 33.4. We'll see if Coutts and Dybert can keep that pace going up into the 33s now. 30, actually back down, 32.95 for Coutts, 33.30, 33.71 for Dybert. So Gruben, who started quick, slowly regressing to the mean. Robin Gruben's personal best is a 6:50.07. So he is right on pace as we speak right now. Robin Gruben for that 6:50 time. Coutts and Dybert chasing that sub 7 minute. They will have to keep these lap times under 33. Just Coutts and Dybert. When they come around, they will have 6 laps to go, about the halfway point. Robin Gruben is flying, still in the 31s. Biernan in the low 33s. Dipping under 33 is Simon Coutts, 32.97. Jack Dybert, 33.0. Gruben now is up into the 32s. Biernan still holding those steady low 33s. But Gruben's banked a lot of time. The key for him will be not to die in the last second half of the race. As Dybert and Coutts cross over on the backstretch. That was Simon Coutts going over the top of Jack Dybert. But Jack Dybert's picking it up mid 32s, 32.6. Let's see if Simon Coutts has an answer. 33.9 is Coutts' lap time, 32.7 for Dybert. So Coutts falling off the pace. Dybert's picking it up. Grubin still on a good race. Mid 32s. Colin Bierman, his personal best is a 7:06.46. As he drops into the 34s, he will want to bring that next lap down. Coots, almost a 35-second lap. Legs are starting to hurt, but Jack Dybert looking strong. Mid 32, Jack Dybert looking to smash that 7-minute barrier. Dybert will have 2 laps to go when he comes around to the home stretch. Robin Grubin chasing him, 32.84. As we see Colin Bierman on that last back stretch. He's chasing a 7:06 personal best. But those are mid 33s for Colin Bierman is what he has to skate. Jack Dybert, another negative split, 32.5 with 2 laps remaining. And he is rocketing out of that corner. 1 lap remaining for Jack Dybert. Another 32.5, and he is looking strong. He is actually picking up his pace here. Doing a good job of getting full, strong strides with every stroke. Robin Grubin as well. Simon Coots looking painful on this last lap as Jack Dybert will come to the finish line. Can he negative split this last lap? He does, 32.4. His final time, 6:54.50. That is a big personal best for him. Grubin, 6:44.21. That's also a big personal best for him. Coots, 7:06.06. So Jack Dybert skating an over 10-second PB. That's an 11-second personal best for Jack Dybert. What a race. Robin Grubin 6 seconds off his personal best. Colin Bierman misses his PB by 2 seconds. We have 5 quartets to go in the men's 5K this morning at the Olympic Oval finale. What a race this one is. Max Halleck in the inner lane, racing Rick Van Hemert in the outer lane. They'll be followed in the next pair by Jonas Christensen from Norway and John Hrinchuk from Manitoba. Skaters skate 12.5 laps over this 5,000 meter race. They switch lanes on every backstretch for a total of 400 meters per lap. Watch the lap times throughout these races. They will indicate whether the athletes are speeding up or slowing down. Opening splits in the mid 20 seconds for the first pair. Second pair, Jonas Christensen pulling ahead a little bit after the first 200. As now all skaters try to relax into a good pace. 5,000 meters is a little bit of a guessing game for the athletes as they have to pick, in collaboration with their coach, a pace that they want to hold for the entire race. But they do this without knowing the ice conditions, without knowing how well they feel. Sometimes skaters will start too fast. Jonas Christensen and John Hrinchuk starting faster than the rest. 30.9 for John Hrinchuk. Ambitious first lap for him. Christensen, 31.7. As our first pair settles into the mid 32s. has really checked his speed and slowed down 33.0. You have to be careful when you do that. It takes more energy to slow down and then speed back up if you slow down too far. Sometimes better to just carry your speed and live with your mistake. Max Halleck's personal best is a 7:07.53, so those will be mid 33-second laps that Max Halleck is aiming for, and he is right on pace right now. Actually, negative splitting that last one to a 33.0. One of the hardest things for young skaters in the 5,000 meter is to learn how to maintain a steady pace. Sometimes you see junior skaters racing the 5K, you see their lap times jump around half a second faster, half a second slower, half a second faster. That variance in speed uses up a lot of energy. Halleck in the mid 33s now, or low 33s now. Van Hemert holding high 32s. As Christensen comes through, 32.68, he's holding mid 32s. John Hrinchuk, 34.65. So that 30.7 second lap on the first lap might be hurting John Hrinchuk now as he reaches the midpoint of this race with 6 laps to go. This is Rick Van Hemert and Max Halleck on that backstretch. Rick Van Hemert's personal best, a 7:18.89. And he is on pace to smash that time here today. He set that time in Enschede in the Netherlands, which I would guess is maybe an outdoor track. So he almost just has to stay on his feet and he will beat a 7:18 for a personal best. Minchuk into the 35s. Christensen is now in the mid 33s. Max Halleck in the low 33s. He maintains this pace. He will skate a personal best. He has to keep these times in the low 33s. Max Halleck does. But he's looking strong. Hugging those blocks. Sometimes skaters, as they get tired in the 5,000 meter, will skate further and further away from the line in the corner. It only slows them down further because they travel a further distance. Look at Jonas Christensen holding 33s. Jonas Christensen chasing a personal best of 7:10.01. As long as he holds mid 33s, he will skate that personal best. He's dipping into the high 33s, so Jonas Christensen has to bring it down now. John Hrinchuk, 36.6. Positive splits every lap. John Hrinchuk's personal best is a 7:56.16. He is on pace to beat that today. And we have our final lap for Max Halleck and Rick Van Hemert. As Rick Van Hemert looking to smash his PB here. His previous best time, 7:18. And he will come through under 7 minutes. Actually, under 6:50, 6:48.89 for Rick Van Hemert. That is a monster time for him as Max Halleck will come through looking for a personal best. Sub 7 minutes, 6:59.67. Great time for him. John Hrinchuk has 1 lap to go. He's looking for under 7:56. Jonas Christensen will finish up 6:56.50. That's a big personal best for Jonas Christensen as well. As we wait for John Hrinchuk to finish up, as long as he keeps this time under 7:56, it will be a personal best, and he will smash that by over 30 seconds. 7:22.46 for John Hrinchuk. Good race for him. 4 big personal bests in that quartet. We are now moving on to our 18th quartet. These are pairs 33 and 34. Christian Gawek from the United States in the inner lane. Tjerd Kopka from Germany in the outer lane. They are racing Stan van Ryssen from the Netherlands in the inner lane and Caleb Hovey from Ontario in the outer. So, Christian Gawek opened with a time of 21:28, 21:03 for Kopka. All skaters opening with low 21-second laps or 200-meter openers. All 4 are underway now. Christian Gawek's personal best is a 7:35.33. He set that time in Milwaukee, which is a low-level track. It means if he skates the same sort of race in Calgary, it will be faster due to the altitude. He settled into lap times. 34.86 was his second lap. 33.86 for Kopka. So Tjerd Kopka going a little bit faster through this point of the race. Stan van Huysen and Caleb Hovey have a good race going on. They're in the low 33s. Stan van Huysen is chasing a personal best of 7:18.05. If he maintains these 33s, he will skate a personal best. Even 34-second laps will get him there. Caleb Hovey is chasing a personal best of 7:20.79. Personal best. They are a well-matched pair, and so far they are neck and neck through 1,400 meters. Through 1,800 meters, even closer. 3/10 separating them. 33.49 for Van Huysen. Hovey 34.45. Christian Gawek 35.72 was his last lap time. 35.52, so he negative splits. Kopka holding mid 34s, doing a good job of that. Van Huysen holding those mid 33s. Caleb Hovey mid 34s. as Van Gijsen will go over the top of Caleb Hovey on that backstretch. When they come around, they will have 6 laps remaining, just under halfway for all 4 skaters. Christian Gowek, lap time 35.88. He's holding those 35s. If he stays in the 35s, he's on pace for a personal best. Kopka, 34.61. Negative split on that last one. He's holding mid to high 34s. And again, 34.78. Steady laps for Tjard Kopka. And another 35 for Christian Gowek. He's settled in. Stan Van Gijsen, a positive split there, 34.78. Caleb Hovey as well, 35.78. So Van Gijsen and Caleb Hovey on that border right now. They will have to bring these times down, or at least keep them where they are to skate personal bests. As Kopka keeps it in the 34s. Steady race for him. 35.8 for Christian Gowek. That's his 3rd lap in a row at the same pace. Jared Kopka's personal best is a 7:09.27. He is a little off that pace right now. He set that time 2 years ago, right here in Calgary. Kopka dipping into the 35s. Christian Gowek, another 35.8. 35.7 now, negative splitting. As Van Gijsen and Caleb Hovey have positive split again into the 36s. All skaters have 2 laps to go when they come around through the home stretch. Kopka, 35.56, 35.74 for Gowek. And Van Gijsen still leads the second pair. 36.20 for him. Hovey, his lap time. Looks like we have a timing malfunction. We missed his lap time. So it looks like Caleb Hovey may have missed a lane change. And that is messing up our times for both Hovey and Van Gijsen, as they will come through with 1 lap to go, both in the same lane, because Caleb Hovey missed a lap exchange. Christian Gowek and Tjard Kopka on their last lap now. And our times are all mixed up. It looks like we will have a final time for Tjard Kopka, 7:31. But I would not trust it. Everything got mixed up in this pair. If you want to see the final times, go to ucalgary.ca. Sorry, go to oval.ucalgary.ca/competitions for the final results. We may have preliminary times for you in a moment. This is our next pair, our next 2 pairs. Jonah Ertsubies from Ontario and Tom Kaiser from BC. They are in the same quad as Eric Orlowski from BC and Mark Canvin from Manitoba. As our first two skaters underway, this is Urtsubiz and Kaiser. Urtsubiz in the white armband, Kaiser in the red armband. Eric Orlowski and Canvin are underway here. Yellow armband for Canvin. Sorry, yellow armband for Orlowski. Blue armband for Canvin. Opening splits 20.6, 20.7. Jonah Utsubiz is chasing a personal best of 7:27.13. He skated that last weekend at the Olympic Oval Grand Prix. So he'll be looking to improve that again this weekend. As all four skaters are underway now. Utsubiz, his first lap time, 34.2, 33.0 for Kaiser. Tom Kaiser's personal best, 7:32.59. He skated that last year at this very competition, the Olympic Oval finale. So a well-matched pair between Tom Kaiser and Jonah Utsubiz. They are right on pace with each other, 1 second apart. Eric Orlowski and Mark Canvin are close as well. They're both in the low 34-second laps. You see them coming into the back corner after exchanging lanes on the backstretch. This is Utsubiz and Kaiser. Neck and neck here as they come around. They will have 8 laps to go. Anyone's race at this point. As we look at Orlowski and Canvin, Orlowski's personal best is a 7:26.88. 7 minutes and 26 seconds is the time to beat for Eric Orlowski. As our first pair stays stuck together, 1 second apart for Utsubiz and Kaiser. Doing a good job of racing each other. Always nice when two well-matched skaters are paired together. Mark Canvin's personal best is an 8:48.01. Time seems really high, but that was skated in Winnipeg, outdoors on natural ice, likely in freezing temperatures with lots of wind. So look for Mark Canvin to try and set a quick indoor time here today. He could fall and get back up and he would skate a personal best. As Jonah Utsubiz is pulling away in this first pair. Still in the 34s, Tom Kaiser falling off pace, 36.88.84. Eric Orlowski is now pulling away. Low 35 was his lap time. Mark Canvin into the 37s. So at the 3,000 meter mark, over halfway done, Jonah Utsubiz still holding mid 34s. Tom Kaiser into the 37s. As Orlowski will come through the finish line. His split time, 34.83. Canvin trailing behind him, 39.58 his lap time. As our first pair comes through, Jonah Urtsubi is on a good race, 34.78. He's holding steady laps in these mid-34s. He's leaving Tom Kaiser behind in his dust. As Kaiser will skate through, lap time 38.58. He has 4 laps remaining. Orlowski coming through, 35.3. If Jonah Urtsubiz and Eric Orlowski maintain this pace, they will skate personal best. They are chasing sub 725 times. They could get into the 17s. That would be great. As we look on the backstretch, that's Jonah Urtsubiz holding those low 35s, high 34s, right on pace with Eric Orlowski. Keep an eye on their lap times. Canvin and Kaiser both in the 39s now. The 36.22 for Urtsubiz. Can Orlowski keep this lap time under 35? He's done a good job so far. Eric Orlowski will come through. Lap time 35.01. Eric Orlowski is now within striking distance of Jonah Urtsubiz. He is keeping those lap times down as we ring the bell now for Jonah Urtsubiz, 37.22. He had his hands on his knees last couple laps here for Jonah Urtsubiz. Coach yelling him on, trying to keep him moving. Get him across that line. Tom Kaiser and Mark Canvin doing a good job keeping their laps under 40. Stemming the bleeding. Eric Orlowski is now in his last lap. As Tom Kaiser skates down the home stretch, 100 meters to go for Tom Kaiser. He will finish up with a final time of 7:21.92. That is a 15-second personal best for Jonah Urtsubiz. Eric Orlowski is going to finish up strong here. His final time, 7:16.97. That is a 10-second personal best for him. Sorry, Jonah Urtsubiz set a 5-second personal best. My mistake. Not 15, 5-second. Tom Kaiser finished up with a 7:47.58. So he misses his personal best by quite a bit. As Mark Canvin will now come to the finish line. His final time, 7:52.31. That is 40-something seconds off his personal best. Get a nice look at the start line at Mark Golden and Bruno Olivier Brabant lining up at the start. And these guys are underway. This is Mark Golden, and I don't believe that is Bruno Olivier Brabant. Stay tuned. Find out who is racing in that other pair. Christian Arlt. So Mark Golden and Christian Arlt in the first pair. They are racing Sondre Glesna and Hunter Hewlett. Opening splits for Arlt and Golden, 20.6, 21.3. Glesna, 20.9, 21.0 for Hewlett. So Arlt and Golden setting their initial lap times. 32.3, 33.8 for Golden. Opening lap times for Glesna and Hewlett, 32.4 and 33.6. So quick opening splits for all four skaters. Let's see if they can maintain this pace. Mark Golden's personal best is a 7:36.46. He will be looking to best that time here this afternoon. Christian Arlt's personal best is a 7:35.30. So look for these skaters to keep their lap times under 36 seconds. As they come through. Settling in now, Glesna still in the 33s, so he started on 32s. He's in the 33s now. Quick opening 2 laps for Sondra Glesna. Hunter Hewlett, 37.02. Sondra Glesna's personal best is a 7:41.47. That was set in Stavanger, Norway at sea level, so expect him to skate faster here today at 1,000 feet altitude right here in Calgary. So Arlt in the mid 34s. Mark Golden settling into the 36s. Sondra Glesna still in the 33s, although he's now dipped in the 34s. And Hunter Hewlett in the 37s. Hunter Hewlett's personal best is a 8:55.20. That was set in Saskatoon outdoors on natural ice, so expect him to smash that time here today. $34.52 for Glesna. Still keeping those lap times down. If he maintains this pace, he will skate a personal best. Hunter Hewlett, 37.58. He is on pace for a PB as well. Christian Arlt in the 35s. Nice and steady for him. Mark Golden in the 36s. So all four skaters skating very steady times right now. As they all are about 3,000 meters through this race. 2K to go. As we see Christian Arlt is passing Hunter Hewlett, the pair ahead of him. Christian Arlt holding these lap times in the 35s. Mark Golden still in the 36s, doing a good job. Sondra Glesna has been positive splitting the entire race, but he did bank a lot of time at the beginning. Hunter Hewlett, 38.6. He was skating steady 35s until a lap ago. Let's see if he can keep this lap time down, and he does. Negative split for Hunter Hewlett, 38.02. Christian Arlt, that's his first lap in the 36s. Mark Golden negative splitting, 35.73. Sondra Glesna, 36.32. All four skaters on a good pace right now. Christian Arlt in the 37s now. Last two laps, he's let those lap times slip. Hunter Hewlett, mid 38. Mark Golden bringing it down again. Mark Golden looking stronger and stronger through the second half of this race. Sandra Glesna in the 37s now. And as they come around, there will be one lap remaining for three skaters. Arlt, Golden, and Glesna. One lap to go. Christian Arlt. Positive split again, 38-44. Can he catch his pair on this last half lap? He has 5 seconds to make up. He's been gaining 3 seconds a lap. It would take a miracle, but can he do it? Sandra Glesna finishing up as well. He's in the 38s now. As they come to the line, Christian Arlt hunted down by Mark Golden, but they will finish close. But Christian Arlt will take it, 7:29.87. That's a personal best for him. 7:30.15 for Mark Golden, also a personal best. Almost 6 seconds. As Sandra Glesna finishes up with a 7:24.36. But despite his slow finish, he finishes the good time because he started quick. That is a 15-second personal best for Sandra Glesna. As Hunter Hewlett will finish up with a 7:51.31. That is a personal best for him as well. As we get a look at our final race of men's 5,000 meter. These are pairs 39 and 40. Matthias Nigeli from Switzerland and Bjornar Bjorgesson from Norway. They are racing Joshua Taliesen from BC and Paul Tremblay from Ontario. Twelve and a half laps to go. Opening 200, 20.4 for Nigeli. Borgeson, 21.8. Matthias Nigeli's personal best, 7:27.69. As all four skaters are underway, Tremblay had the fastest opener of the bunch. As we get a look at our first lap times, Nigeli 33.2, Borgeson 34.9, 31.4 for Paul Tremblay. That's a quick opening split. 32.5 for Taliesen. That's also quick. Taliesen has to be careful not to get carried away by his pair. Sometimes tempting to follow the skater in front of you. Not always guaranteed that they are doing a good pace, though. Bjornar Borgerson's personal best is a 8:03.37. And he is on pace right now to beat that. Nigeli holding high 34s. Borgeson mid 36s. So Taliesen and Tremblay have now calmed down a little bit. 35.2 for Taliesen. Tremblay still leading the way, 33.4. Paul Tremblay's personal best is a 7:34.59. Let's see if he can beat that here. He's certainly on pace right now. Still skating in the 32s. Nageli and Borgeson holding steady laps, 34s and 36s. As we look at Paul Tremblay crossing over into the inner lane, he is passing Bjornar Borgeson, who's in the pair ahead of him. His lap time, another mid-32. He is on a smoking pace. Paul Tremblay, his personal best was set in Quebec City outdoors. So expect him to be much faster here today. If he maintains this pace, he is looking at a sub 7-minute time. Joshua Talisin, 39.15. Matthias Nageli, still in those mid-34s. He's doing a good job holding those times. Borgeson in the mid-36s. Very steady. As Paul Tremblay is now on the backstretch. He's into the mid-33s. He has to bring that time down if he wants the sub 7-minute. So 39.44 for Talisin. He's settling in at a very steady pace. Tremblay into the high 33s. He banked a lot of time at the beginning, though. He keeps these laps down. He can do it. When he comes around, he will have 4 laps to go, and he still looks strong. Those legs driving nice and long, looking dynamic. You can tell by an athlete's body language in these 5Ks. Are they looking down at the ground? Is their head bobbing around? Do their legs look lazy? You can tell whether they're doing well or whether they still have energy. Tremblay looks very good, 33.7 his lap time. Nageli slowing down a little bit, 35.4, 37.2 for Borgeson. Both skaters still on pace for personal bests. This is the crucial point of the race, though. They have to keep those times down. Joshua Talisin has never raced a 5,000 meter. So any results here will be good for him. He has to learn how to race it. Paul Tremblay holding his lap times under 34. He's off that sub 7-minute pace, but he's still on track for a big personal best. He's now aiming sub 7:10. Nageli and Borgeson still skating strong. Nageli's lap time, 36.42. 2 laps to go for him. 2 laps to go for Paul Tremblay. Skipped the 34s, he's into 35. He has to pick up his foot speed. Bjornar Borgeson still in the 36s. What a steady race from Bjornar Borgeson. As we have skaters all over the map here in this quartet. Bell lap here for Paul Tremblay, 35.8. 1 lap to go for him. He's looking at a 7:05 if he can keep this time in the 35s. 1 lap to go for Bjornar Borgeson. Borgeson has kept his lap times in the 36 range the entire race, doing a great job. And Paul Tremblay finishes up 7:05.45. Fantastic finish for Paul Tremblay. That's a personal best. Talisin has 2 laps to go. And Nageli will finish up with a final time of 7:23.17. Borgeson 7:42.23. Two more personal bests. And when Joshua Taliesen finishes up, we will have 4 personal bests in this final quartet. And Joshua Taliesen will skate hard to the line. He will finish with a time just above 8 minutes. Just below 8 minutes, 7:58.80. And that wraps up our men's 5K competition at the Olympic Oval finale. Fastest time of the morning, way back at 9 a.m. was set by Ted Jan Blumen. The 7:20.70. Marcel Bosker was the second fastest time. Jordan Belchos the third. Ben Donnelly was third amongst Canadians. Stay tuned for more action throughout the day here. The ladies 500 meter is coming up next. We will be back at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Stay tuned for more racing here at the Olympic Oval.